section where we're going to dig into Jack's brain, and he's been pondering some questions here in the last week or so. He's going to share with us. And if you have some comments on that, or you have your own how come questions, as far as you look at the world around you, it could be the world at large or the world of your business, you want to kind of throw out there for us to kind of ponder and try to address in terms of how come something's this way or that way. You can give us a call here in the studio. Again, we're here every Monday from noon to 1 p.m. Eastern. The number here is 440-946-9468. That's 440-946-WINT. If you prefer to do it via email, you can do that as well. Shoot us an email at radio@maximumvp.com. All right, Jack. So you've been pondering. So what's on your mind? Give me a how come or a couple of how comes. What's on your mind?
Well, for our listeners out there too, if you have a how come question, feel free, as Adam said. We'll put it on there. It could be a silly how come, or it could be a pretty deep thinking how come. As you ponder the world, there's lots of stuff out there, and it might be vexing you to just vent it out, put it out there, and we could have some good discussion and fun with it. So I got two today. One is a quick one, a quick hitter here, a little one. Let me tell you what it is here. It's a quick one. Over 48.7% of all statistics are useless.
Just that much, huh?
That's it.
Sure, is that 48.9?
Well,
48.6? Okay. 48.7.
And that was just one of them.
All right.
All right.
Is that a good one or a useless one?
That's a useless one.
All right. Good.
Okay. Now, I was pondering this one. And I look on these things. Usually it's a culmination of the week. And Sunday I'll start to think about Monday. And so here's the ponder of the week here. How come, if life is so short, why do we do so many things we don't like and like so many things that we don't do? Let me read that one again. It's one of those that can stick in your mind here. How come, if life is so short, why do we do so many things we don't like and like so many things we don't do? Now, why is that? It kind of says that you're trapped. In many cases, it can say that. Why the heck would we want to do so many things we don't like? What causes that? We can start to think of some obvious ones, like, we have financial and family obligations. Well, then the question could be, well, how come you're into those family and financial obligations? If you don't like doing those things, why are you doing them? Now, I'll bet you, and as I started thinking about this, I don't have a list. One of the movie The Bucket List, when that was out, that was pretty good, and I think a lot of people refer to a bucket list. I think a bucket list is a great thing. I started making one up years ago, and so I have a few things that I like, but I don't have a list that would be updated of things that I like, that I really like to do.
That
you, Adam?
That you haven't done yet. No, Shannon and I were kind of going through that a couple of years back. We were away for a weekend. I don't remember if it was an anniversary weekend or not. We started talking about some of those things. As the kids are getting older, and there's certain things we'd like to maybe do, places you want to kind of go or try to accomplish, and a few glasses of wine and started to kind of go, and then it's kind of drifted off. I have it on my phone though, in terms of the rough draft of that list.
Draft.
That way I wouldn't lose the list, right?
Well, that's it's an accumulative thing, or it should be like that. But we got to have, that almost seems like it's a starting point. You have to have that list of things you like. If you don't, what do you do? How do you pick the weekend you're going to spend? How do you? I don't think we give it a lot of thought. We really don't. We kind of just flow. We flow with our choices, and then. Is it really what we like to do? Well, we make it because we've just done it. You're going to say, I don't like to do things I don't like to do. But we do. We do things we don't like to do. So
you're always picking your battles. I guess the philosophical answer is choices. Okay, so I think you made choices early on in life, and so now all of a sudden you don't have as many choices now. We always discuss that. We'll contrast things that. If you make some really poor choices and you wind up in prison, well, you got pretty limited choices once you're in prison, right? You go see
That's right.
Things you can do.
One of the worst places to be. Your choices are
very limited,
very
right?
limited. That's right.
So if you go the other end of the spectrum, for somebody who's had tremendous success, let's say financially, and they can do just about anything. Well, you get some crazy people that decide to run for president doing something like that, right? Which I don't know why you'd want to do that, but your choices are almost unlimited at that point.
But
I
don't think we truly ponder and think deep about what we like to do.
Well,
we should. The fact that here's what I like to do, I may not be able to do it. That's a different discussion.
I think most people are not doing something that they absolutely love and really enjoy. The whole idea of having a vocation versus an avocation, people talk about that sometimes. Again, do you love what you're doing? If you had it, you mentioned financial stuff, right? So if you were independently wealthy, would you be doing today what you're doing right now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what percentage of the population would say yes to that?
I think most would, on even if they thought about it, because that's almost the one big key. If you're financially independent, you can do whatever you want to do. And so now this list would become imperative, because do you want to live high? Do you want to live low? Do you want to do simple things? What you can do anything.
I'm going beyond the bucket list. I'm going just very simply. I think you hear most people say, hey, if I won the lottery, I got this big inheritance. The first thing I'd do is quit my job.
Yeah.
First thing they would do, right? Now, what would they do after that? I don't know. Maybe your point, maybe they go to that bucket list and see some stuff that they may want to try out for a few weeks or a few months or this or that. But one of the first things that they say is, I'm going to quit my job, because they don't truly like what they're doing.
They haven't thought about it. Look at our clients. How many people, when we first start with them, what their goal is to retire somewhere on the beach. My God, getting sunburn and having crabs crawl over your feet. I mean, that's not really where you want to be too long. I mean, it's nice to visit that, but that's not to me an ideal goal. How can you judge that? But to have that list of things that you like. Now, we usually try to take these little ponderings and apply it to business.
Yeah, that's where I was starting to go with that.
We coach that with our clients. Especially with their key employees. If you're the owner of a business, you should have a discussion often with your key employees, where the typical job description, if you will, and we'll call it performance or lack thereof, whatever term you use to evaluate your employees, there should be a section that we like to use the calendar year, the beginning of the year, in which your key employees lay out not only goals for the company, but goals for themselves. What would they like to do? What would they like the company to help them do? What are they trying to do with their life, with their career? And have a discussion like this, because I don't believe that discussion is held, especially in small businesses, very often and very meaningful, and where it's documented and followed up on. And, hey, Adam, how can I help you get whatever it is you're trying to get? A little better education, a little trip around the world, I don't know, whatever you want. But if you don't know, you can't tell me, obviously.
Yes, usually those conversations start out like somebody like Jack asking that question. You get kind of a smirk or a giggle or kind of stare back like, well, what do you mean, right? Because they either haven't thought about it or they aren't comfortable in maybe sharing, but typically they haven't really kind of been pressed to think that way, to think bigger beyond what's right in front of them as far as what they're doing day to day.
Or they'll take what the marketing world is throwing up at them, and that's vacation and things of that nature, where you're spending money, and things you like may not necessarily always be rooted in finance and financial considerations, but it's all customized, and you don't know until you think about this stuff. This is a pretty good pondering, this one. It really was.
One of the things we also do, I thought maybe we're going here, Jack, I'll go here instead, which is we'll talk to our clients about it. If they aren't having fun and enjoying the business, we say, well, go get a job then, or change the business. Because, I mean, again, who's in charge here?
Choice. That's right.
This is you being in charge. Because we'll run into a lot of owners that are that way, where they should be really loving what they're doing and having a good time doing it. Again, it's not all fun and games, but again, they're truly enjoying it. They're enjoying the challenge. They're enjoying how they're growing, and personally as well as a company, and they're enjoying being with the people who are there. If you're not enjoying it, change it.
You can change
it.
We often have to tell our clients to enjoy themselves, to enjoy the victory.
That's right.
They get a new account, or they basically have something very positive happen in the company, and they still got that dour face of woe is me. Wait a minute, step back and realize what just happened. Have fun.